We are back once again, Political School, with a very interesting segment today. Today we are celebrating June 16, which is our Youth Day in South Africa. Stay tuned and we'll be able to explain to you why do we celebrate and commemorate this day and what does it mean for young people such as me and you today. Give you a historical understanding so that you must not think that we contradict ourselves. How can we celebrate the lives of people who have passed on? No, that's not the case. You know, over the years, Youth Day has been very much distorted by the fact that young people would just go out and get insanely drunk. That is not the significance of this day. The significance of this day is that young people went out in their numbers in Soweto. And because of their belief of a just, equal, accessible education system, they were gunned down by the repressive and apartheid regime. So we don't celebrate the lives that they have lost. We celebrate today the contribution, the selfless contribution that they've made towards the struggle. So no one is unilaterally able to claim the freedom of the people of South Africa. And it's very important that that must be noted, because so much time do we hear that this political organization advanced this particular agenda, and because of these people, that's the reason that they are in parliament, because they have somehow earned the right, you know, they've inherited this democracy of ours because of their heritage and their family's selfless contribution towards the struggle of apartheid. But what this day also signifies with relation to what I've just said is that there's young people which has passed on untimely so because of us, you know. They wanted to make a contribution which is long lasting, you know, which is sustainable, which can be remembered decades and centuries and eons on down the line. And that's why this day is so important. And today we'll be looking at, you know, why what happened, just taking a brief look at it and focusing on the current day politics that governs young people in South Africa, the African dynamic which we find ourselves in, you know, what is the economic and social conditions of young people, how we are able to empower ourselves coming out of June 16, 2021. You know, it's a very important time, and as a result, together with my team, we then reached out to some young people to understand how they feel about this day, its significance, its impact on their lives, and what do they feel is the importance of this day.
June 16. What comes to mind when a person mentions June 16? It is, of course, a day to commemorate not only the struggles that we have been through as Black people, but also the effort taken by Black youth in attempt to alleviate the oppressive system of the past. Well, to me, it's about purpose and being able to will myself towards achieving what I need to achieve, no matter what the circumstances are.
Honestly, June 16 does not mean much to me, except that it's a public holiday where we get to commemorate the series of protests and demonstrations led by Black school children, which started on June 16, 1976.
To me, June 16 means youth are having fun. Because I know maybe 5 years from now I won't be youth, But I know youth by then, they'll be having fun. That's June 16. June 16 is a holiday for youth to have fun, drink beers, and go out and stuff like that. That's June 16, I know.
Means to me that I grew up in a time where I was afforded the opportunity to attend schools, English schools in town. I feel the youth of 1976 fought for us to get those kind of opportunities, and we are free now to attend any kind of school and be taught in any language.
It symbolizes youth power, unity, and how we as young people can put our minds together to make a positive impact in society.
June 16, 1976. The uprising began in Soweto and spread nationwide. This period profoundly changed the socio-political landscape in South Africa. Events that triggered the uprising can be traced back to the policies of the Apartheid regime that resulted in the introduction of the Bantu Education Act in 1953. Afrikaans, a language alongside English, was made compulsory as a medium of instruction. Black students began mobilizing themselves. On 16 June 1976, between 3,000 and 10,000 students were mobilized by these organizations to peacefully demonstrate and protest against the government's Afrikaans directive. They were met by a heavy arsenal of police force, firing tear gas and later live ammunition, killing many young people. The aftermath of these events had dire consequences for the apartheid regime. Images of the police firing at peaceful demonstrating students led an international revolt against the South African brutality, which was finally being exposed.
Don't accept this, we'll start our own movement. Students must fall.
It was mid-October 2015. South African public universities started experiencing a wave of student protest, initially over proposed fee increases for the 2016 academic year. The protest started at the University of Witwatersrand, and they soon spread to all government-funded universities. However, students, disgruntled with a number of issues in South African higher education, had been boiling under the surface for a very long time, similar to their counterparts of 1976. For example, earlier in that year, the country had also witnessed the hashtag Rhodes Must Fall protest, which were triggered by students' unhappiness over the continued presence of the statue of Sir Saul John Rhodes and other symbols of colonialism at the University of Cape Town. By January 2016, the hashtag Fees Must Fall protest had broadened its scope to unhappiness with student accommodation and language of instruction policies at mainly the historical white universities, as well as outsourcing of support staff such as cleaners, gardeners, and security guards. The protests have therefore started assuming different names, such as hashtag outsourcing must fall and hashtag Shackville. At some universities, the protests were very violent and led to the suspension of lectures and examination, damage to property, as well as injury and arrest for some students. What became a defining moment during the Fees Must Fall protest Was the significance of the initial unity among student organizations affiliated to different political parties? Was a defining characteristic of the protest to which the momentum that they quickly gathered could be attributed. In 2018, President Jacob Zuma announced free education for higher education and training. But still today, many students grapple with financial aid, financial assistance, and many of them are left in destitute as bills keep on piling up.
Killer be killed. It's like we're living in a jungle, Baba. Hey,
The state of our country is better than it was back then, but it has just rolled out into a lot of corruption.
It's just unfortunate that the current state of our country is not looking good, mainly because of the COVID-19 pandemic, which is resulting into high unemployment numbers and contributing to poverty, high poverty levels as well. However, that should not be an excuse. I believe that poverty is all in the mind. Once you start feeding your mind with negative thoughts, you will indeed live a negative life. As the youth of today, we must not focus on what government can do for us, but however, focus on what we can do for ourselves. It's high time that we stop this negative mentality of expecting everything from the government and blaming the government for everything when things are not going our way.
It's on a decline, you know. It's troubling, but as a young person, there's not much I can do because the government doesn't listen to young people. So,
state of our country, I think we could do better. I think we could do a lot better in our country as a whole, especially our leaders, especially how they respond to things, especially the decisions that they do. I think we could do a lot better. And those things right now, because we're a growing country, and now things have changed, so we see how they run things, especially in parliament. It's not cute. It is not cute. So everything is just trembling.
The current state of our country is not very pleasant or conducive. We find ourselves in this current situation because of cheap politics. Cheap politics is the reason why we are here today. We are begging for skilled citizens to stay in a broken society. Our SOEs are busy deteriorating. Our debt-to-GDP ratio is not very pleasant. Our unemployment figure is skyrocketing. Cadre deployment and corruption is busy killing what is left of our country. Privatization of employment and other opportunities is a great concern. So much could be done to solve our simple issues in South Africa, yet our leaders do not want to hear our crisis, young people of this country.
I do not feel empowered by our government. Right now, most of the time, the people that empower me are ordinary citizens who work to build themselves a better life, who are entrepreneurs trying to build their own business. So by the government, no, but by ordinary citizens, yes.
I don't feel empowered. The only empowerment I get is from my customers. My customers, the people who come here, do photocopies, email scans, those are the people who are empowering me because they leave something here and I give services to them. But I'm empowered economically. Okay, I am empowered, but not by the government, eh? Not by the government. I am empowered by my customers. Yeah.
No. There's no empowerment. Those who have power, they keep the power to them. and they feed who is closer to the table.
Well, my honest opinion here, I believe in hard work. I believe in hard work and dedication. I believe that the only way you can empower yourself, the only way that I can empower myself is by being the best at what I do. And I am faithful. I really am faithful that each and every youngster in this country will awaken the giant within.
No, I do not feel empowered socially, nor economically, because everything right now is at a standstill for South Africa mostly. So empowerment right now is not looking up for South Africans.
When looking at the opportunities that tend to present themselves to the average young black person, it would be easy to say, yes, I do indeed feel empowered. When assessing the things you have to go through in order to take advantage of those opportunities, it would be also easy to say no. Economic empowerment for the average young black person is a mere pipe dream, to be honest. When looking at social empowerment, you could say that the platform is there for young people. Society is slowly recognizing the need for input from the youth, which could never be a bad thing when you come to think of it, right?
I do feel empowered to some extent because even with all the odds stacked against us, we are able to push through and rise above obstacles in this inequality that has now become our daily reality, you know?
No, I do not feel empowered socially or economically. Like I said, there are limited opportunities for the youth. We're trying to obviously get our voices out there, but it's not that easy with the way things are structured in our country.
Do I feel empowered? Yeah, I'm able to get education, and there are government programs that favor black women, so for me personally it's a good thing, but also it's not that accessible.
As a young person, no, many youth are graduates but don't have jobs. Many do have the ability to study further, but don't have the finance to do it economically. Many youth need civic education in order to understand the current political system and structures. Many youth does not understand government, parliament, not even the voting process.
It's all about starting where you are with what you have. And I think as young people, once we tap into that mentality of using what we have to create something that will better our lives, I think we will go far as the youth. And also, in terms of the social state, one thing I like about the youth of today is the fact that we are very vocal about a lot of things. If there is something that is negative that is happening in the country, we as the youth, we are quick to stand up and support whatever challenge that there is, positively so. We see that in the streets of Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and that alone, I think it would make the youth of 1976 very proud to say, we have finally achieved our goal, and that is the youth of today's generation being liberated economically so, socially so, mentally so, and actually bettering their lives for the next generation that is coming. Therefore, June 16 really is about self-liberation in all aspects of your life.
Nope, not at all. They will feel ashamed because everything they fought for is in vain. So we're still going backwards as a nation.
No, I do not think they would be proud. Their fight was for rights, civil rights, as well as freedom of expression. not being discriminated against when they're black. 27 years later, we still face the same issues, and we still have other issues that we are still fighting for. So if they were alive today, they would feel the fight is not done. So no, they would not be happy.
I think they'd be quite happy that we've managed to get education, and in some parts it's free. But I mean, it's good in the sense that people can get education, but there's a lot of us who have qualifications, but they are jobless, they're unemployed. So it's good and bad, honestly. So I think it would be a conflict of emotions. Like, yeah, they're happy, people have qualifications, but can they actually get jobs, So that's the problem.
No, I don't think they'll be proud, because right now the youth of today, honestly, majority, they just live to live. They live to make money. They live to enjoy life. They live to die. That's just it. It's like we lost hope in some way. You understand? And that's all that we could also blame our higher leaders, because they just want to stay there in their position. They don't want to give the youth a chance to bring new things.
No. Young South Africans have no faith in democracy. It is proven that the participation of youth in elections are decreasing. Corruptions, low socioeconomics, rights influence their thinking. Young people face multiple struggles since 1976, and the country are still counting under the most unequal societies in the world. Just one example, the joblessness rate is about 55.2% amongst the country's youth, almost twice as the national unemployment rate of the country, that is 27.6%.
They would be proud in their own way, ne? Because I don't think back there was WhatsApp, so they wouldn't be proud now. But if it was 1976 now, seeing the youth are becoming billionaires now, youth are being millionaires, youth are doing great things, they would be proud. But there's left and right. No, there's not. It's not like everything's always right. They would be proud for the right things, but they would be pissed at the wrong things. So it's 50-50, my guy. 50-50. For those who smoking nyaupe, doing drugs and whatever, no, they won't be proud. But for those who doing good things, going to school, getting PhDs and doctorates and stuff, they will be proud of those, because I think that's what they fought for, Mose. Education. That's what they fought for. June 16, guys. Holla back. I'm out.
I do think those that lost their lives on June 16, 1976 would be very proud of us, because yes, there's still a lot to fix and a lot to work through, but here we are with the willingness to still fix and still work through. Because to be honest, June 16 was anything but a solution to a problem. It was a beginning to a way of thinking and a rebellion against everything that is meant to oppress our greatness. And yes, there is still a very long way to go. But hey, we are going, and absolutely nothing is going to stop us.
In South Africa, in my own words and in my own perspective, I don't think that those heroes of the struggle, wherever they are, I don't think that they are very happy regarding what is currently transpiring in our country. In the country that they have fought so hard for. One of the key things that we should take from the youth of 1976 is that decisions should be made in the best interest of all South Africans. We should embrace and encourage to strive for a meaningful change, which is through the actions that had occurred on June 16, 1976. We as the young people of this generation should be as bold as the generation of 1976. That generation of 1976 was not a generation that was manipulated by empty promises or led by fake senses of loyalty, tied to the past that does not serve our future. We need politicians with principles and courage to act regardless of what the potential impact is for themselves or the political party that they represent.
I think people that sacrifice their lives, that sacrifice their well-being for us would be proud of this, but I'm just glad that they put a word, they put their hard work, they put their strength into this, they put their passion into making people like us, this youth, become what we have become today. So that's how I feel about 16 June. That's how I feel about, what these people have done for us.
Well, I think there are aspects of youth affairs that would make them proud. The youth of today is proactive, no matter how big or small the roles they play. The general feel of things is that the youth is more involved and want to be more informed about what happens in their country currently. One similar thing about today's youth and the youth of 76 is that they will not be silenced. None whatsoever. Their voices shall be heard. And it is something that makes me extremely proud of about the youth of today. We are not silenced. We are not quiet. We will speak our minds, whichever and whenever.
Hey, truth be told, their death definitely didn't go in vain. That's for sure. And it's like I said, hey, we just have to put it on the youngsters. And we just have to, there comes a point when prayer is not necessary anymore. And when we all gotta go and just put in that work,
I do not think that the youth of 1976 would necessarily be proud of where the youth of South Africa is today. Firstly, our youth is still fighting for free education, and like I said, the opportunities are limited. There's a high unemployment rate, of which majority of it is youth pupils, so I do not think that this would be a proud moment for them.
No, they would not be proud, because what they fought for is being disrespected by the other comrades that they were fighting with. So they did not uphold the promises.
No, I don't think they'd be proud of anything that's going on right now, because they fought long and hard for us to get to a better state, and we're still 3 steps back where they began.
And with that, my political scholars, I say thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. It was Youth Day, so we had to talk everything and anything relating to youth. There's so much more issues that we want to delve into, so many more issues that we want to cover, but we only have such a limited time. Please, the conversation does continue on the comment section below. Also, do not forget to hit the like button, press the subscribe, hit the bell in case there's new videos available for your alert. And yeah, with that, we say enjoy your Youth Day, have a fun-filled day, go out, enjoy yourself responsibly, be impactful as a young person, show them what you got. You have it within your young lion. I say thank you until we meet again.
Like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it is. Then I go to my brother. And I say, brother, help me please. But he wind up knocking me back down on the knee. Oh, there've been times that I thought I couldn't last for long. But now I think I'm able, Father, to carry on. And it's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes it is, yes it is, yes it is. Said I know that a change is gonna come one day. I know a change gonna come.